Hi, this is Ernie Daughtery. Welcome to the Fishing Magazine television series. We're at Central Pro-Am Association's opening 1999 Pro-Am Bass Tournament on Bull Shoals Lake. You know, I like the first term of the year absolutely the best. Everybody's on level ground, everybody's off to a fresh start. But it won't be that way by the time this event's over. You'll see what I mean when we come back right after this.
For nearly 50 years, Bull Shoals is ranked as one of America's premier bass fishing lakes. And it's on legendary Bull Shoals that Central Pro-Am begins its landmark 10th anniversary season. From humble beginnings in 1989, Central Pro-Am has emerged as the leader in Pro-Am bass tournaments and one of America's premier tournament circuits. This year, Central Pro-Am is opening its season on Bull Shoals for the first time since 1992. But this early March tournament is likely to be similar to Bull Shoals Pro-Ams in previous years. Tough, but wide open for any angler who can come in with a limit 2 days in a row. The only exception was 1997, when Terry Thomas ran away from the rest of the field by catching bedding bass all the way up the White River in Missouri. Every other year, back-to-back 5-fish limits weighing 13 pounds would have put you in position to win. But of course, catching a limit on Bull Shoals is often more easily said than done. The 2 practice days have been unseasonably warm, but by the evening before the tournament, a massive cold front is moving in rapidly, and what that will do to the fishing is anybody's guess. As 1995 Bull Shoals winner Cecil Kingsley fully understands.
Well, based on what I saw today and what I've seen for the past 25 years on this lake, I would say that weather is going to be the biggest factor in this tournament. We've got cloudy skies right now, or we're supposed to have a storm coming through tonight. Then tomorrow I expect we're going to have a bluebird day, and I think that the anglers that can adjust with the weather are going to do well. We've got fish available to be caught on this lake all the way from 3 foot down to 35 foot.
Kelly Power won the final event of Central Pro-Am's 1998 season the previous fall. So he'll be trying to make it 2 straight here at Bull Shoals.
Right now, it seems like bite's pretty good. You can catch, we've been able to catch about 15, 20 keepers a day so far in practice. It's a little bit of a slow bite on the crankbait, having to work the bait really slow with the cooler water temps. But the fish seem to be getting a little more aggressive every day, and I'm kind of figuring it's going to take somewhere around 31, 32 pounds. And I think that the majority of the fish are going to be caught on the crankbait. Fish seem to be eating the crawdads pretty heavy right now.
One of the best around Bull Shoals is Ranger employee Lou Treat. He's already won 1 tournament at Bull Shoals this year, so he'll be among the favorites in this event.
I had 24 pound last week, won the tournament, and today I didn't fish anywhere where I knew I had fish found, but I still caught 8 keepers today, and I had 2 quality fish, and I think the conditions tomorrow are going to start out about the same, and I don't think anything's going to change. It's going to take probably a 3-pound average to win this tournament.
The morning of day 1 dawns cold and overcast after a severe storm dumped rain and hail on Bull Shoals the night before. The bluebird skies many were expecting are nowhere in evidence, and you can bet Bull Shoals will have other surprises in store for the Pro-Am anglers as well. When it comes to fishing a jerkbait in early spring, few can equal Lou Treat. This morning he's working areas that produced for him the week before, but today he's getting no action. So far the cold front seems to have turned his fish off or moved them out from the bank. Either way, Treat may be facing the possibility of a very long day on the water. Another Bull Shoals standout is Butch Still, who's also a Ranger employee and Central Pro-Am's 1998 Pro Division champion. He's working a jerkbait near boat docks on chunk rock banks, and so far his day is going well. With the water as cold as it is, Still is careful to fish the jerkbait slowly with subtle rod movements, and this method seems to be paying off. The fish he's catching aren't big, but by mid-morning he's well on his way to a limit. Bill Beck and amateur partner Walter Weezy are also working jerkbaits, but along shallower pea gravel banks. Beck has already landed 2 good keepers when suddenly Weezy gets a strike. It's a solid Bull Shoals smallmouth, and with light line, Weezy's taking his time bringing it in. Finally, he works it next to the boat, and Beck scoops it up with the net. Cecil Kingsley didn't get the weather pattern he was anticipating, but he's managed to adjust. He already has a limit fishing jerkbaits and crankbaits in ledge rock areas. If he can cull one of his smaller fish, he seems certain to be among the day one leaders. Dave Munganast and amateur partner Jerry Weisinger are both close to completing their limits fishing crankbaits in pre-spawn staging areas. Suddenly, Weisinger gets another strike. It's not big, but it is a 12-inch Kentucky, and those are big enough to count at Bull Shoals. When the Pro-Am anglers return to Bull Shoals Boat Dock for the day one weigh-in, Ron Foss sets the early amateur division standard with 8.45 pounds. But Steve Bingham soon makes his bid for the lead.
He has the limit today, leading the amateur division 8.80 pounds. 5 lively ones there. Going to be real close to that 8 pounds. 8.85 pounds, a new leader in the amateur division.
Eventually, Jim Williamson moves past Bingham with a limit weighing 11.7 pounds. But the big amateur division stringer of the day belongs to Richard Morris.
Oh, looky here, looky here. Here's your new leader right here in the amateur division, folks. 14.50 pounds, mark it. That's the new leader right there in the amateur division. Put your hands together, Richard Morris.
In the pro division, one of the first to weigh in is Cecil Kingsley, who brings in a limit that weighs 14.6 pounds. Kelly Power also has a limit, but it weighs only 14.2 pounds, and he falls ounces short of overtaking Kingsley. Brian Snowden is the next to challenge Kingsley's lead.
Hey, we got the limit. We have the limit. 2 limits now being weighed in. Cecil Kingsley took the lead, 14.60. Are we going to take it away from him? It's going to be close. Let's see what we've got here. Look at here at these brown bass. Look at here. Gone. It is gone. 15.15 pounds.
Calvin Horn also has a limit, and he threatens to overtake Snowden's lead.
How many we got?
We got 5.
We have a limit today, Mr. Horn says. They're going to weigh 15 pounds? No. Will not weigh 15 pounds. Boy, he's got a good sack, though. Looky here, good sack of bass. Almost 14.75 pounds. You're in the hunt for some money, Zeke. Good job, sir.
Next is Robert Tilley, who comes to the scales with this 5.5-pound bass and 4 more keepers to go with it.
Oh, looky here, looky here, looky here. Watch out, pro division. Get on up. Whiff. Nope. Yep. 15.95 pounds. That's your new leader in the pro division, Robert Tilley.
When the second flight arrives, that includes this magnificent 6-pounder.
He is going to take the lead. Guarantee you that. Here's your new standard right here, pro division. 18.30 pounds. That's your leader right now in the pro division, Phil McFarland.
Next to vie for the lead is Pro-Am rookie James Miles, who's got a big bass that tips the scales at nearly 7 pounds.
Good sack of fish to go with it. Good job, sir. 15.35 pounds. That's right up there in the top 3 or 4.
A few minutes later, Pro-Am veteran Lance Williams also comes in with a limit.
Here we go. Going to get interesting now. Good sack of fish. Is it going to challenge the lead? No, but it's going to be second place. 17.40 pounds.
Then comes defending Bull Shoals title holder John Sappington.
Good quality sack of fish here for John Sappington. There it is in the log jam area. 15.60 pounds. Good job, son.
Lou Treat's fish finally turned on late in the day, and he comes in with a limit that could put him in contention.
How many you got?
5.
5. Are they chunks? No, they're not going to do it. They got to get on up there to make that happen. They're right in the middle, son. 14.40 pounds. Go get them tomorrow. Good job, Lou Treat.
At the end of the first day, Phil McFarland sits atop the Quantum Pro-Am scoreboard with 18.3 pounds. Less than a pound behind is Lance Williams, followed by Robert Tilley, John Sappington, and rookie James Miles. The rest of the top 10 is led by Brian Snowden, who holds down 6th place with 15.15 pounds. But he has only the narrowest of leads over Mark Pitchford, Roger Dial, Calvin Horn, Larry Boley, and Cecil Kingsley. In the amateur division, Richard Morris holds the first day lead with 14.5 pounds. Morris has nearly a 3-pound lead over Jim Williamson in second place with 11.7 pounds. But Danny Pierce is right on their heels with 11.05 pounds. In the rest of the top 10, Chuck Bramwell leads the way with 8.8 pounds. But he has only a slim lead over Mike Smith and Ron Foss, two capable Arkansas anglers who know Bull Shoals well. Stay tuned for exciting Day 2 action. We'll be right back. It's now time for Bass Fishing My Way, brought to you by Daylight Donuts, the best donuts around. John Sappington's victory at Bull Shoals in 1998 proved that flippin' sticks and 25-pound line aren't always the key to victory. The versatile Sappington used a spinning rod and 10-pound line and let the fish tell him how to catch them their way.
Each fish was really different. Some fish would want the bait swam over the top of their head, and some fish would want it dropped in front of them. You may get on something and it'll work on 2 or 3 fish, the same retrieve, maybe just a slow fall or something, but pretty much each fish was different. You just kind of had to play with them until you caught them.
The morning of Day 2 is dark and overcast, and if anything, colder than the day before. John Sappington is out with the first flight, and he's working a grub along Ledge Rock in the Lead Hill area. He started the day in 4th place, nearly 3 pounds behind leader Phil McFarland. But so far this morning, he's off to a slow start. The bigger fish he caught on Day 1 aren't hitting, and without them, his chances of retaining his Bull Shoals title are rapidly diminishing. Just as on Day 1, Lou Treat is struggling early. His fish aren't active, but Treat's patient enough to know that sometimes you just have to wait and be ready when they do turn on. Bill Chester was in 13th place after Day 1, 4 pounds behind the leader. He and amateur partner Frank Divis are working crankbaits along pea gravel banks. Suddenly, Divis gets a strike near the boat, and Chester hurries to offer assistance with the net. A short time later, it's Chester's turn. Quickly, he hauls in a solid keeper that could keep him in the running for the Pro Division title. Fishin' Magazine field editor Don Barry has a lot of ground to make up. But so far this morning, he's off to a great start. He already has this 4-pounder in the boat, and a limit of fish like this one could put him in position for a money finish. A short time later, Barry gets a strike from another good fish. He works it close to the boat, and amateur partner David Jones hauls it in with the net. About noon, Lou Treat's fortunes begin to change. Suddenly, his fish have turned on, and he's on a roll, catching fish one right after another. In the span of just a few minutes, Treat is able to complete his limit, but he started the day 4 pounds behind the leader, and he knows he must get strikes from bigger fish to have a realistic chance of winning. When the Pro-Am anglers return to Bull Shoals Boat Dock for the afternoon weigh-in, the amateur division is in turmoil. First day leader Richard Morris has come in without a keeper, and now it's anybody's ball game. One of the first to weigh in is Jim Williamson.
Jim Williamson, 11.70 yesterday. He's only got 1 bass today. It will not be enough to take the lead. 3.90 pounds, or maybe it will be. Let's take a look here and see. While Miss Winters goes to work adding all this stuff up, what do we got here? 15.60 pounds. That's a new leader in the amateur division, Jim Williamson.
A short time later, Larry Wickersham comes in to challenge Williamson's lead. Wickersham has 4 fish that total over 10 pounds, but he falls a ½ pound short of overtaking Williamson. Finally, the 3rd flight arrives, and Ron Foss, in 9th place after Day 1, comes to the scales.
He has a limit. Jim Williamson took the lead early in the amateur division with 15.60 pounds. Let's see what we've got here. 10.55 pounds, 18.80 pounds, a new leader in the amateur division.
In the Pro Division, Don Barry gets the crowd buzzing with these 3 bass that weigh in at over 11 pounds. But he can't overtake Phil McFarland's first day lead. A short time later, Lance Williams comes to the scales. He has only 3 fish, but they're enough to give him the lead with 25.85 pounds. Then comes Pro Division rookie James Miles.
15.35 pounds yesterday. Did you double up and do it again today?
Caught the limit.
Caught the limit. Won't weigh 15. I don't know. Watch out. 25 pounds leading it. Are we going to get over it? 11.45 pounds. Mark it. I love a tournament when it starts doing this. 26.80 pounds. A new leader in the Pro Division, James Miles.
When the second flight arrives, Greg Ryan makes his bid to overtake Miles.
$12,500 on the line. Here we go. 27.15 pounds. A new leader in the Pro Division, Greg Ryan.
Right behind Ryan is Pro Division rookie Tim Taylor. Taylor falls just short of overtaking Ryan, but Joel Baker soon arrives to launch another assault on Ryan's lead.
27.50 pounds. A new leader in the Pro Division, Joel Baker.
Finally, the third flight arrives, and Day 1 leader Phil McFarland makes his bid to retake the lead.
3 bass. They got away. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be so close. Look at here. Watch out. He may have done it. 7.90 pounds. Let's figure it out. Did he get Joel Baker? No, he did not. 26.20 pounds.
A few minutes later, Calvin Horn comes to the scales to challenge Baker's lead.
How many you got?
I got mine.
Uh-oh. Watch out, everybody. Watch out, Joel Baker. They're going to have to weigh what they weighed yesterday to take the lead.
They won't do it.
They won't do it. Will they weigh 13?
Maybe.
Ooh, 13 will be enough to knock Joel Baker out, I believe. Ooh, look at that brownie in there. Look at that smallmouth. Looky here. Watch out, everybody. 13.85 pounds. Ooh, I love this part of my job. 28.60 pounds. A new leader in the Pro Division.
On a day when all the other Day 1 leaders faded, consistent Calvin Horn comes through to earn his first Central Pro-Am title with a 2-day total of 28.6 pounds. Close behind Horn on the Motor Guide Pro-Am scoreboard is runner-up Rob Williams, followed by Joel Baker, Greg Ryan, and James Miles. In the rest of the top 10, rookie Tim Taylor ties Tim Fleetwood for 6th place with 26.65 pounds, edging out Day 1 leader Phil McFarland, Robert Tilley, and Lance Williams by less than a pound. In the amateur division, Ron Foss claims his first Central Pro-Am title with a 2-day total of 18.8 pounds, outdistancing runner-up Jim Williamson by over 3 pounds. In the rest of the top 10, Day 1 leader Richard Morris finishes 6th, less than a pound ahead of Chuck Bramwell and Jerry Weisinger in 10th. We'll be right back. It's time now for Tips from the Top, techniques you can use to catch more fish. Brought to you by Ranger Boats, where they still build them one at a time.
I thought that I would end up cranking both days, but the weather conditions and my bass both left me. So I decided that early in the first day, after I caught just a small limit, that I would break off and fish the gravel, channel swings. And it worked. I caught fish. The fish were bigger, more consistent, and I culled through my crankbait fish, which I wasn't expecting that. The second day I started again and went to the main lake pockets and tried them again, but again the fish weren't there. The main areas that I wanted to look for was the big heavy chunk. The fish were not supposed to be staging yet, but they're running the staging areas. They're not exactly coming up to the staging area, but they're acting like they want to, a little sooner than they usually do. So I went to the pea gravel, to the staging areas for the smallmouth, and they were there. They weren't staying. They were coming in and going out, but they were there. I used an old-fashioned setup that I've been using for 40 years. I fished it very, very slow. I had to go to a 4-to-1 retrieve in order to bring it down to the depths that I need. I slow rolled it, bumping it all the way down to 35 foot. The smallmouth love brown and orange, and the touch of green was the key. The actual brown and orange jig itself, they wouldn't pick it up. But if I added a little bit of green, because the crawdads had a lot of green cast to them, then they picked it up well. This is a 3/8 ounce. It has a number 5 hook in it.
The weed guard that I added to it is a metal guard, twisted wire. I use it as a rudder. When you're slow rolling, the weed guard and the high hook act as a rudder and keep the jig from tilting one way or the other. It'll actually cause it to plane across the bottom.
Calvin Zeke Horn is a wonderful example that sometimes good guys do finish first. Congratulations, Zeke, on your victory at Bull Shoals Lake. Thanks to each and every one of you for watching us today, and we'll see you next week on Fishing Magazine.